ladies, gents, queens, kings, and commentators. It's the one and only. You can't clone me, queen, baby. And y'all already know I have my guest for this show in this series, Sweet Life LA.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sean CTV. We're back at it again.
Back at it on what I'm doing. That was so cheesy. Why did I say that?
Big
Hold on,
cheesy.
rewind. Take it out. But no, seriously, we continuing on with the rest of the season 2 of Sweet Life LA. Y'all already know they dropping like 3 to 4 episodes a week.
We basically halfway through the season now.
Yeah, we still trying to figure out like what are we getting? Like, are we getting 9? Are we getting 10, 11, 12? Like, how many episodes are we getting? Because how you go from 4 episodes to 3? Like, baby, what's that?
We already at the big trip, so what's going on?
Like, baby. But hey, we're here to review, we're here to talk, and we got a lot of things to talk about. So getting into it, we're gonna start with episode 5. Continuing on from episode 4, what happened was Bree was upset because what's her name? Rebecca told her the situation that happened with Thailand, and then basically talk about her Rebecca about the whole situation with the bedroom with Miami. So Bree like, you bitches are weird.
Literally, that's their favorite word, but she meant that from the soul. Like, y'all are weird. Like, why are y'all?
Deep down.
But it's like, to a certain degree, Bree, you gotta grow up. Like, everything can't be a situation to cry for.
Yeah, that's the one thing I would say. I don't, like, it was the tears, but I kind of understood where she was coming from because you gotta remember the way that it's being presented to her. It's like, oh, my friends is talking behind my back when they could have just came to me if they really felt some way. Granted, I understood why they didn't say anything to her because it wasn't that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. But if y'all talking behind my back about it, then clearly it's big enough because you spoke on it. If it wasn't a big deal, you shouldn't have said nothing. It should have been what it was that day, that night.
That's true.
So I kind of felt where Bree was coming from.
To me, it all goes back to the fact that Thailand is the one that picked the room. Like,
you can't let it go. You would not let that go. But I mean, facts are facts. Ty, you picked that room. And I wanted to say this too. Last episode when we talked about it, Thailand sat there and complained about Bree not giving up. Everybody kind of complained about Bree giving up her room. We already talked about how Amanda didn't give up her room. Why didn't Ty give up her room? Because one, Candace is Tyler's best friend that Miami ended up sleeping with.
they could have been in the same.
They could have been in the same room. And Tyler, you had what, the first best room? If you really felt like that deep about it, give up your room.
These are true facts. Because if you was really that angry, you come in as like the lead of this trip. You were supposed to come up with a solution. Fine, I'll take the small room, guys. And I guarantee you, Ty would have said she would have took the small room. Amanda or Bree would have gave up their room.
Gave up. I don't like
They would have gave up their rooms quick.
I don't like that. Okay, y'all. So if y'all see us looking down, if y'all see us, listen, we got notes, okay? Because it's a lot of things to get to, and we gotta hit every point. So, baby, we got our notes, and we're not playing, okay? I mean, notes, baby. We're not playing about this show because it's just too much to get into. But anyways, moving on within the show, we get into Gerald, PJ, and Kofi meeting up now. I don't know why they keep doing Kofi like this, these sporadic moments, like just have him pop up. I get he's a friend, but it's like if you're not gonna fully like have him as a friend, because I feel like Kofi was here last season and now he's here this season and he hasn't been on a trip yet. So I feel like he at least deserves that unless he don't want to, but it's still like he deserves a little bit more than what he's getting,
Cause we know or care for Kofi more than we care for the new influx of people that have been thrown on it. I'm more invested in Kofi's storyline or him as a person.
It's not. Kofi hasn't given you anything for you to be invested in.
I'll put it this way. When we take all that back, I'd rather Kofi's presence than the rest of these lame folks that have been thrust upon us.
Well, we'll get into them a little later. But getting into, Gerald and PJ and all them meeting up and Kofi meeting up, they started talking about the whole situation with Jaelynn and, planning the whole situation with Rob and just, preparing for that. And he's basically inviting them. And PJ is basically like, oh, well, I don't know how I feel about Jaelynn coming. I know he's coming because Rob invited him, but I don't know how I feel. But it's like, PJ, this is not your event. Like, it's your event. You may have helped put it together. You're his manager or whatever you may be. But this is Rob's first, big performance. So you got to expect for his friend to come, right?
Right. So what's crazy to me is I feel like in that situation where we're seeing Kofi for the first time, like to even start off with him and Jordan, they're talking about just like,
Gerald.
not him and,
I ain't gonna hold you. We low-key missing Jordan. The Wood is definitely in need of Jordan because the Wood is lacking, baby. And the Wolves is on this season. Like, they owning it right now. But the Wood, baby, they are being overshadowed. And I feel like they're being overshadowed because they really didn't have no dominance presence if Jordan was around. And now that Jordan is gone, we really see, like, y'all are bringing us nothing.
Nothing. Like, it's the Woods' whole storyline revolves around PJ now at this point.
PJ is holding them down. I'm going to give it to you, PJ. PJ don't have no choice but to hold it down because everybody keeps coming to him, attacking him. So he don't have no choice but to defend himself, which is bringing him, a storyline. Mm-hmm. But Jeru, non-existent. We know Kofi not. So, and Jordan's missing. So it's like.
That's it. It's PJ.
Yeah. So the Wolves have taken over.
But I just feel like, I think they were talking about too, Gerald said something, he was like, like life got hands. And it was like, life really do got hands. Like, they're going through some crazy stuff. Kofi's like, oh, I've been missing in action so much because I've been trying to save my money. I've been trying to get my money up. Like, he may be on a national TV show, but he got his own personal stuff behind that he's like trying to work on and build up. But moving forward to just Rob with 1B inviting, I don't think he should. I don't think he should have invited.
First
Jaelynn.
off, take that gum out your mouth. You are a professional. You know better than this.
Oh, not sure.
Take that gum out. Correct.
I don't think Rob should have invited Jaelynn to the event without clearing it with his manager. Even if you're not clearing it, like you're asking for permission, that should have been something PJ should have been aware of. Like, what just happened at the BBB event, so why would you try to recreate that same sort of shock value or that same kind of, like, not giving him a heads up before the invite was solidified?
But he told him, though.
After you already did it.
But even if he didn't tell, first of all, this is his first show. Like, we already know this is his first show, which we're going to get into a little bit later, because it's like, you trying to quit your job and this is your first show, like, you never even did a real show before, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. But if this is his first big show, of course you want an audience. Like, you want people around, and like, this is not your town. He's from Chicago. So it makes sense to invite the people that you met first or who you close to. But at least he gave PJ that respect to tell him.
But I get he's desperate for numbers, but if we be clear, him and Rob and Jalen's last interaction wasn't even like, Jaelynn just tried you, Rob. So like, how... You can't be that desperate for an audience that you like,
You'll be surprised. Baby, numbers will make you move mountains. It will make you move mountains. But anyways, moving on to actually Jaelynn and the Wolves and the rest of their game, we kind of get into them and just them basically talk about the same situation just from Jaelynn's standpoint. And around this time, they're around like, older guys, two older guys that I guess they hang with or know. Like, one of them is the cringy boy Marcus, uncle, and then another guy who
is Tyler and uncle.
Oh, that was Tyler uncle. I don't know why.
The big guy that was on the grill.
Yeah, no, but I was talking about the other guy with the cowboy shoes. That was Marcus.
Yeah, that's Marcus.
And the big dude who be grilling them is Tyler.
Speaking of Ty, you gonna put your family on. If one thing, he be brand placement. He be having his sauces and his seasons.
What's his name? Big Chuck.
Chucky. You gonna put the fam on. I support you for that.
Big Chuck Grills.
The meat be looking good.
It be looking too good, baby. Hey, come on, Tyler. But so yeah, they just talking and having a conversation about, PJ and the situation that went on. And it's crazy to me because Jaelynn has already said that he knew he was wrong in that situation. Yet for some reason, every time he bring up PJ, he like, oh, I really can't mess with dude. Like, it feel like he always in some girl's mess. But PJ really don't be in girl mess. Like, he had one situation where two girls was basically, having a situation over him, but that's not being a girl's mess. And then when all the girls do try to attack him, that's them calling him over and putting him into mess that he really not even interested in being in. So I don't like the fact that Jaelynn is trying to perceive PJ this one way, and it's like, Jaelynn, like, that's not what's real. Like,
exactly.
At least that's not what we're seeing. Like, he's not always in mess, girls mess. They fucking always bothering him.
I mean, and I wouldn't even consider it girls' mess. If you look at like it's PJ's mess. Like, it's not like PJ's It's not like PJ's inserting himself in female drama. It's literally his drama. Like, it has to do with me. So that also brings up to my point, like, why is Jaelynn also always so concerned with the things that PJ is involving himself in? It seems like Jaelynn doesn't know if he wants to be sorry or if he wants to put on an act in front of the wolf pack or whatever they want to call themselves.
But you want to know why? I feel like Jaelynn is doing that because Ty inserts, because you got to remember, that drama don't even be Ty's, but some way she found her way in it. So Ty done found her way into some drama with, all of a sudden she got problems with PJ. And then, so Jaelynn feel like, oh, I got to come to her defense. And then here we are.
So
but I feel like they never
with them two, it's the pot calling the kettle black, always.
Basically. Continuing on, I have to say this because I said it last time, and I may have said it wrong, but I have to say it this time because, you know, this whole situation, at least Gerald's storyline is all about him being a sociopath. But I feel like if Gerald is a sociopath, then Jaelynn is very egotistical. I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this like big man syndrome. I don't even know what to call it, but I'm gonna call it big man syndrome. And it's like, it's not even calls for it. Like, who asked for that? Who need it?
Right. And if Ty looking at dictionary, definitions, she need to find one for the person that's sitting right next to her, laying up next to her every night.
And laying it in her too.
You take it that far every
time. But also too, what was getting me with the whole situation with the Woods and they little talk was Keelan basically trying to do the whole, well, we cut from a different cloth. Oh, we from Inglewood, they from the Wood, we from LaBerry or whatever, like whatever.
We're not sure with the LA hoods, but he basically tried to say they not real hood, like they not really about that life. But at the end of the day, it don't matter if I'm about that life. It don't matter if I'm like that. It don't matter if I'm from the hood. It don't matter if you paying rent and I'm paying a mortgage. You gonna respect me, period. At the bottom line, there should be respect every time we see each other. So
exactly, because we're men.
And if the whole issue is with us demasculating men or people feeling like they demasculated, that means you should always approach somebody with respect. So across the board, whether you in the wood or you a wolf,
ooh.
Respect. So what?
Ooh. Speak on it.
It's like, where's the respect? Where is it?
Yeah.
So that makes me, if anything, what I will say of the Wolfpack, they look very immature this season and how they're coming across and navigating these situations, which I will say, and I can't even say the Wood is seeming mature. I will say PJ, to me, seems a bit more mature this season.
Last year, just how we said, I feel like, I don't know if we said it or we seen it or we talked about it, but just how we feel like Bree must be watched back what happened with her situation last year and came back and like, oh, I'm for to be a changed woman, I'm for to be better. Like, Bree is different from last year. Still boy crazy, which she gotta let go, but Bree has changed. We've seen growth. PJ, I feel the same way. PJ had them F-boy tendencies. PJ didn't understand what he was wrong. Like last season, this season, he's taking accountability. He's owning up to stuff he did, and he's trying to like just move on. Like he's not trying to be into nothing that's not worth his time as he shouldn't. It's more stuff going on. Like, bro, I'm trying to get myself off the ground, get my artists off the ground. Like, I got other things to do. Why am I sitting here arguing with you about beef
that you technically not even in?
Literally never had no beef with you or nobody associated with you. I had no beef. So where's this animosity even coming from? So that's one thing I do respect about PJ. And he's low-key becoming like a fan favorite of this season, which is crazy because PJ
went from villain to...
He was literally in the pits of hell last season. Only for him to be God's glory. Like, that's crazy. Crazy.
But I like it. I like to see the growth.
Me too. I agree. Now, what was so funny to me though when they were talking about Jaelynn and BJ and them calling themselves the Wood, somebody was like, "Why they call themselves that?" And somebody was like, "I don't know. They probably watched the movie." That was funny to me.
That sounds like something Keelan was That do sound like him.
It was funny, but moving on from that, we kind of get back into New York. This is like a LA, New York episode because the girls in New York and the boys in LA. So we're going back to New York and, Ty and them is getting ready for their legacy table. And what you thought about the event? Just tell me what you think.
It looked like a very New York event. Like not too big, which is why we're asking ourselves, damn Ty, where was the invite? It seemed like something very intimate. That's how New York stuff is. I feel like Ty is a very good.
Do you think New York events are intimate because the buildings are so small?
Most definitely, we ain't got room for like the good ones are at least like we ain't got room for. It had to be a max cap of maybe 50 people in there, and that's pushing it. Ty does a very good job at organizing events that at the surface and like its foundation have very good meaning. Like the Seeds of Seneca, like that was so.
Like that.
Like for her to not even be from New York, I feel like she did a good job of coming from LA and coming to New York and finding something that would have meaning and substance that would draw people
She
in.
does her history, she does her research, she makes sure she is so precise in what she's doing and where she's going and what she's creating that when it all comes together, you like, oh. Well,
that made, like, I get it, legacy table, like that made so much sense. And I feel like it's easy to throw a themed party every year, but to really make it have meaning, especially to the Black and brown community, Ty does that like effortlessly. You can say a lot about her actions as a friend, but as like a creator and as a businesswoman,
she does that well.
She 10 tens across, like she really snaps.
Yeah, I agree. Cause when I went back to rewatch it, I was like, oh, that's why. Cause I was gonna bring this up to you. I was like, okay, so basically Legacy Table is a networking event. But then when you kind of add like that little tidbit of history that she, threw in there, it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Oh, okay, like I
not
see
only
the
is it a
growth.
networking event, but why are all of these specific people in this same room? Like, why does it matter for these people?
Yeah, which, she been and having Biggie's son there, CJ Wallace there, it just made sense. It made sense. But now that I'm on the CJ boy, him and his business partner, right? So, him and Amanda was trying to have a conversation. Basically, I'm trying to network so I can have, work your next event. Like, I'm trying to really put my name in the motherfucking bed. Like, that's what Ty was on. And baby, they was like talking in circles. Like, they really wasn't trying to like, oh yeah, like.
You don't think they was trying to like solidify something that night?
Not the guy in his business, not CJ and his business partner. I feel like they was like, oh yeah, this is cute, but I'll get to you. You know how it's always there, like, I'll get to you. I see you doing your thing. I'll get to you, but not like, oh no, I see you doing your thing.
But I mean, one event in New York, she couldn't also, I don't think she should expect a solidified deal from just one event in New York. Like, you have to show a consistent presence. Like, granted, you could do something intimate in New York, but CJ is a big person. So how do you accommodate masses, a larger audience, a larger venue, that sort of thing? So I'm interested to see where they go with that.
But I don't know. I just think about all the side stuff too. Like, it don't have to be nothing big, but it could have just been something like, oh, well, my dad's birthday coming up. We finna have this big block party, so maybe you can throw a little VIP such and such on this day before we have it. Like, just something. I don't know. That's just how I think. But I just don't feel like they were really trying to work towards something with her or with Amanda or whatever that situation was. But Ty, you did your thing. I'm gonna give you that. I will give you that.
And all y'all, once I understood the theme, all y'all looked good.
No, Miami. Oh, cheesy. Miami was cheesy. I ain't trying to talk bad because I like my girl Miami, but compared to how everybody else was dressed, baby, she just missed it. Like, she missed that mark. Like, that wasn't her look. Like, it wasn't it. And then Rebecca, listen, I don't know, maybe because I'm comparing how Bree came, even though Bree whole outfit, bro, and she was just a dysfunctional mess from the get-go. She couldn't even do her job that she was asked.
So, but did you fault Bree for like her wardrobe malfunction and not being able to show up, and like, because we also don't know if she showed up later on in the event to continue her job, but she literally had a wardrobe malfunction with her whole breast basically out. Like,
because
Amanda
things happen, but once she was able to fix herself or get herself together, they didn't show that she went back to her job. All they showed us was she went back. Exactly, she went back to material. So from an outsider looking in as a viewer, it looks like, okay, you had a problem, you got it fixed, and I went to this dude who I'm crushing on. It didn't look like I went back to business or I went back to something to help my friend. And that's the only thing, like, they really always show Bree as boy crazy, and Bree can very much be boy crazy, but in this instant, it didn't make her look good because it didn't look like you went back to your job. But it's like, well, Ty wasn't, we didn't see a situation where Ty was complaining about it, so maybe she did end up going back to her job. her job or helping out. But why Amanda be so messy? She didn't have to say all that. Girl, if you was gonna help, just help. Why you had to be like, okay, I'll do her job. Girl, just go do it.
Just step in.
Yeah.
So speaking of Legacy Table, how'd you feel about Becky bringing 2 days?
Oh, I had that in my notes too. I mean, I don't mind it. You guys, I'm not even really dating y'all. Like, I'm just talking to y'all. Like, I'm trying to get to know who y'all is. I thought that was funny though that she kind of low-key was interviewing them at the same time. But it's like, baby, live your life. You don't owe nobody nothing, so why not?
And then to that point, how do you feel about Miami saying she wanted one of the people anyways?
I don't know. It's so
like, how would that operate in a female friendship? Like,
I just feel like, I don't know. I would never I would never care. Like, if I see my friends dealing with 2 guys or trying to talk to them, like, call it what you want. Some people may say you're missing your blessing. Some people may say whatever they may say. I just would find that so weird. That
she would want one of them. Like, that Miami would want one. Like, she should just, like, let that go. Like, because if they wanted you, they would have talked.
Yeah.
So that was my problem. Like, I feel like she's too pretty. Like, if they wanted to talk to you, they would have reached out.
Yeah, but you see, they giving all their time and attention to Rebecca, so let that be that. Don't be, oh, well, if she don't want them, pass it on to me. Because she really don't even want both of them. She only wanted the boy with the dimples. So it's like Cheryl said, well, what if, such and such, what if Rebecca want him? Well, she just shrugged her shoulders. Well, that's kind of weird. Now I'm going to be skeptical and I'm watching around my niggas. Because, baby, no, that's not, I don't know. I didn't care for that.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
To quote Brie, y'all weird as fuck.
You bitches are weird. But anyways, moving on to LA again, back and forth. Now it's time for the comedy show, baby. Now it's time for us to see what Rob is really working with, and he did what he had to do. He was cute. It was funny. It wasn't like
it wasn't knee slapper, like, but I feel like he did a good job of turning his real life situation and his real life story into something that was funny. Like, that's how I feel like that's the best kind of comedy, the ones that's like rooted in like real truth.
You can relate to it. Yeah. Whether the story that they're giving us is, even Dave Chappelle, whether the story is true or not, it's so relatable that it makes it funny. So that's what I can appreciate, because even when he was saying the whole situation about, his girl coming complaining, talking about, she late, and they at the job complaining, like, that's real. Like, why you complaining? Like, I'm late, but I don't care, but I'm not wrong. So you should say that I'm not wrong because you my man. You supposed to know I'm not wrong. Like, stuff like that. Like, it was funny because it's real. But other than that, like, Rob, don't quit your day job.
Yeah. This your first little 5-minute stand up professionally. Like, let's reel it back in and really think.
I also think too, I feel like I think he should work on his voice. Like, and not saying it's anything wrong with his voice, but I feel like it was a certain like personality that he was trying to give, and a certain tone he was trying to give, and I feel like that tone didn't fit the subject matter that he was giving in his comedy. Like, I feel like that's something he got to work on as well. But Robbie nigga, like, I would watch you. Like, I would go to a show of yours. Like, not 5 minutes, and like give me 30 at least.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I paused at first. I was like, Lord. Because I'm rooting for you, Rob. I am. I was like, let it be good. Because if it ain't good,
Yeah, I think we all were skeptical and on the edge of our seats because no one ever got funny from Rob. Like, nothing about Rob says funny.
Looking back, no. He got his facial reactions is next to Kofi's facial reactions. Like, Rob really be reacting to stuff. Like, his face be like, he look like a character out of The Office sometimes. He be like, are you really saying this right now? His reactions are very funny.
But it's only funny because it's real. That's how you probably reacted too. So, I mean, that don't necessarily make it funny. It just makes it relatable. Like, I related to that, so I'm laughing. True. Not so much like, that reaction was funny.
What is funny, though, is how Jaelynn, yet again, because we said he got invited to the event. He shows up with his crew, his gang. Mind you, they don't know Rob really from a can of paint. But supporting, showing up, I really feel like they was there just to show numbers against PJ.
That's what I was trying to tell you, yes.
Like,
but yeah.
They really just showed up to be like, okay, like, it's a gang of us here, like, y'all there.
Just doing too much.
Just doing too much as usual. And of course, here they go again. All right, well, we really think, if you listening to the old heads, we think you should go talk to PJ today. Why again is somebody's event the time and place to go address beef?
I mean, it's a reality show, so we're gonna always get that. But that didn't bother me. Them going to talk didn't bother me, only because one, it was Rob. You know, he's the main point person at this point, and he's the one who kind of like pushed for them to talk. It also didn't bother me because I expected that situation to get handled right then and there. But when I realized it was not getting handled because of Jaelynn's reaction and Jaelynn's actions and Jaelynn's wording, I was like, why is this even happening? That's when I felt like this was a waste of time and it shouldn't have happened because it was pointless. It was like, I'm like PJ in this situation, like, bro, like I'm gone. Because what was this?
Was it? Jaelynn, I feel like his issue is he never approached, like he preaches to Ty about, like everybody's preaching to Ty about accountability and stuff like that and respect, but Jaelynn never comes into his interactions with PJ, at least with respect. Like he literally said, like, PJ, I had to check you. Like, bro, you did not check PJ.
Like what? What do he mean?
Not to mention, how can you check somebody about a situation where technically you inserted yourself in, Jaelynn? Like, Jaelynn, that situation had nothing to do with you.
Nothing.
And you inserted yourself into that. The same thing that you preached for Ty not to do, you did it. And you said you checked him. No, what you did is you got hostile and angry and you blew your cool, which made you look embarrassing.
And you speaking.
Like,
preacher.
If anybody looked bad after that situation, to me, it wasn't PJ, it was Jaelynn.
Real bad.
Like, you embarrassed yourself. And you low-key embarrassed Ty.
Now, within all of this, because we about to end this episode, and move on to the next recap, so y'all make sure y'all head over there when we done with this one. But kind of we ended off with Jaelynn messy. Tell me that as a man, was that not messy? Jaelynn ends up bringing Rob into a situation that Rob didn't even need to be in, because at the end of the day, Rob is cool with PJ at this point. So Jaelynn, why you even bringing up that? I used to talk to him, like, what you getting out of that? That has nothing to do with nothing.
Like, you telling Jaelynn addresses to PJ like, oh, well, it was just all weird to me because me and Rob, we used to talk mess about you. We used to talk about...
Like what? Stick to you used to talk about, it's just, this is weird because I used to talk about you. Rob had nothing to do with that. And what I'm going to always like and respect about Rob is Rob going to own up to his mess. But it's like his mess he shouldn't even have to been in that situation because...
On his night.
On his night.
But what I do respect, I respect two things. PJ in that situation, he immediately, okay, you stop talking. Yo, Rob, come over here. Like, cause now I already know the energy that you're coming with, Jaelynn. So I already know, like, everything that comes out of your mouth, I now have to take it with a grain of salt because you're trying to get to me. Mm-hmm. So now, Rob, you come over here. You been talking mess about me? Like, what's up? And Rob immediately, like, yeah, I didn't know you back then.
Yeah. I really think, like, Jaelynn is really showing his true colors this season, and I don't like the colors that he turning. I don't like your colors. I don't. Like, you giving me black when you should be giving me blue. Give me orange. Give me yellow. But no, I'm not liking it. And it's like, I think because I had a high regard for Jaelynn, like I expected so much more to him because I think I respect him and Ty's relationship so much. But now it makes sense why both of them are together.
No, I thought he was so mature. Like, he was so like mature and like adult like last season. And like now it's like, I hate to call it catty, but it seems like catty. It seems like for you to talk about PJ inserting himself into female business, you're moving more so, and you're moving like a female. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, you definitely moving like a female. And you know what? The reason why he probably seemed more mature is because Jordan was acting like a child. So when he got into a situation where it kind of involved Jordan, it made him look more mature, and he stepped away from it like a mature person. But yeah, now it's come down to PJ on something that he should have been apologizing. It literally should have just been an apology. And all right, bro, like, we ain't gotta be cool, we gotta be cordial. All right, peace out, let's go. Like, it should have literally just been that, and you turned it into you feeling some type of way. But this is, like I said, I see why him and Thailand are together. Like, they are so compatible in the weirdest way. Like, it's like they act alike, but he's like the male version and she's like the female version. Like, they say opposites attract, but they're not opposite. They're literally the same person. It's so crazy because Thailand be wrong, Jaelynn be wrong. They love to tell each other when they be wrong, but yet y'all still will go out after y'all have the conversation and still do wrong shit. It literally makes no sense. But we got more to talk about in the next episode. So y'all already know what to do. Like this video and show your girl and boy some love. Comment your thoughts and let's discuss what you thought of this show. This show. Of course this show, but this episode so far. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the Queen, baby. Bye.